This is, I think, the first big thing that they posted.
Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Iñaki, and today we're gonna have the table read for One Piece Season 2.
Welcome. There are a lot of familiar faces. We are all very proud of what we...
I never thought I could like Zoro much more, you know what?
I can't believe who's here to make their debut in Season 2. Look at this. Oh my god. This is crazy.
My boy! So basically, I'm sorry I peeked the mic there probably. My little precious boy. My precious boy. Look at the little ear flap. Look at the little ear flap. And, I've got no clue what I'm actually looking at. It looks like a CG model. But it's also incredibly fluffy. Like, everything in this picture is fluffy. It looks like they're going with the CG model, right? Why are the horns fluffy? That's what I mean! Everything in this picture is fluffy, including the horns, including the hat, including the ears, including himself. Everything here is fluffy. So I've got no clue, but if this is the direction they're going for, I am fully on board. They said it's going to be practical and CGI. Well, yeah, that's probably the best way of doing about it, right? Like, they're using basically a CG model, but just like trying to use practical when they can. This is going to be incredibly expensive. It's gonna be incredibly expensive. It's gonna be... Reindeer horns are fluffy? I think they are, but I don't think they're this fluffy, are they? I know that they have like a slight thing, but I don't think it's this fluffy. Oh, velvet antlers are a thing? Okay, never mind, I guess it is a thing. But, I mean, I swear to God, if they make Chopper this good, which by the way, Iñaki, I know this wasn't you doing the transition, but you know that y'all could have been a bit more like. So it's like, yeah, I see what your guys doing, right? That they're doing a table read, but you know, just it doesn't really, the lighting doesn't match up. Anyway, I swear to God, if they make Chopper perfect, right, and they hide him at every opportunity, I will personally write a letter to Netflix studios. And I will ask them, why did you do this? Because this is my greatest fear. I've talked about this a lot. They can make Chopper in the same quality that they did Appa on Avatar. Appa on Avatar was perfect. Like, straight up. Very little to debate there. Appa in Avatar was incredible. The problem with that is if you look through all of the Avatar episodes, what you'll notice is that there is very little Appa. Why is there very little Appa? Because they were purposely trying to hide him so that you don't get to see him, so that they don't have to do CGI because he's expensive, right? And with this, if they pour all of this money into this very expensive model and then they can't use it because it's too expensive, I think that will be worse than having a mediocre looking Chopper. So I really hope that they have sort of found the balance between it looking incredible and it looking good enough so that you can use it all the time. That's what I hope. The reflection of the antlers is too bright. Might be from direct light on top of the effect, but if they can dial it down for Season 2, it'd be great. Oh yeah, you shouldn't look at like mastering at all here, because look at, they have like bloom on here and everything. Look, there's also like light leaks. I think this light leak is actually like, yeah, it's a static thing. There's a green blob here that is like a static thing they've added on top to give it a cinematic effect, I think. So you shouldn't like draw basically anything from the scene aside from the direction, I think. Makes sense to make Chopper fluffy and cute. Imagine the merch they can sell. And I think this is why Netflix is pouring money into One Piece, by the way. We've talked about this a million times before. Exactly, you're already saying it in chat. This is Netflix trying to get their version of Baby Yoda. That is what they were doing here, because if you look at other Netflix series, they do not have a marketable mascot. Like, they have Squid Game, right? There's not a lot of stuff that you can really sell from Squid Game. You look at Stranger Things, not a lot of stuff that you can sell from Stranger Things. You look at Wednesday, not a lot of stuff that you can sell from Wednesday, right? And suddenly you have freaking Chopper, the cutest little fluffy boy ever, right? And by the way, I know people talked about like why Avatar doesn't have a lot of merch. The reason for that is that they didn't get the rights to that. I think Avatar only has the rights to the story itself and not any sort of external material. I think that's the reason why. And I suspect that with Netflix now getting all of the anime and also getting the remake of the anime with Witch, I think Netflix has basically acquired full rights for One Piece. At least for the manga, that is. I'm not sure about the Toei situation. That we'll find out soon with the Lockdown changes. But we'll have to wait and see. They had no choice but to do CGI because the different points he uses, like Monster Point and Horn Point, and if you want to be consistent in all the forms, then CGI is the way. It's hard to say really because they could use a person for like not Monster Point, but like Strong Point or Muscle Point, the one where he becomes a Giga Chad. We talked about this before. They could use prosthetics for that and just like a buff dude. So I don't think you necessarily need a CG model for that. Not necessarily. For the base points of Chopper, though, I think that's where you go with CGI, yeah. Lost Ollie on Netflix did stop motion with special digital effect on top. That might cut costs. It's a super cool technique. Let me look at that. Lost Ollie. Oh yeah, this looks interesting. So this is like a Muppet / doll. Yeah, I don't know. Does Netflix have rights to Chopper though? They absolutely do. It only depends on what they have with merchandising. I think the merchandising rights might be a bit different. Chopper hat. I see someone mentioning the metal thing. It's because Chopper has the metal thing. Like it's not a thing they've done. That's Amazon. Let's not look at that. It has the metal fixture right there, so that's just attention to detail. You can see it right here, right there. It's a small metal cap. There it is. So that's just them being very accurate. Do we know his voice actor? We don't know his voice actor, but we do know one of the actors who will play him. I'm not going to look for it now. I made a video on it on the second channel. They got a guy who is very experienced in prosthetics, right? And that is one character who might be playing him. Or rather, one actor. So we know this guy. And this is what we suspect, or rather, some people suspect. I'm on this thing. I think they're going to use something like this with prosthetics to do heavy point, right? Obviously, this is not an example of One Piece. This is not. This is just like a completely different thing. Don't look at this. Just look at the idea. Using something like this to make sure that you can have him on screen 24/7, and it wouldn't be expensive because it's just prosthetics. You make them once, you have them. You know. We know this guy will be involved, and he's experienced with prosthetics and stunt work specifically. Jamie Lee Curtis not joining is actually a good thing. Put that budget on Chopper. I mean, I hope so. I hope so. You'll do 1 point with CGI and other forms with prosthetics with looking consistent and not the same character. Not necessarily. Because I think, like, I mean, let's be real here. If you showed someone, the thing that identifies Chopper is his hat and, like, the fact that he remains the same color. Like, Heavy Point and Chopper base form, they don't look similar. Like, they don't. Even look at this. Like, you put the two Choppers, one pre-time skip and one post-time skip side by side, they look completely different. So I don't think, like, looking inconsistent is really that big of a deal, you know? I think, obviously, there is, like, some consistency they want to make sure that they have. But I think as long as they have, like, the big identifying factors of, like, his little signature pants and his little signature hat, I think it'll be fine. I think they just need to make sure that they need to keep the voice the same. That's probably, like, the biggest thing. He's all fluff, I'm gonna melt. He looks very, very cute. He looks extremely cute. He does. He does. The only thing that I'm already noticing is judging by the form of his head, I think they are going for a post time skip look, right? Because if you look at like how rounded his face is here, in the OG, like his face was much more like dragged out. But if you look here, it looks like very, very quickly rounded off. Right? It looks like this form. Chopper is just 50 berry, just buy him to act for the show. True and real. True and real. They might give more screen time to the form that costs less. I don't think that's even up for debate. I think that's basically what's gonna happen, yeah. I think that is a fact. Like, they will basically choose, and that's what I mean by this prosthetic form. I think this is the one that we are probably going to see the most of. Because it's just like, if it's the simplest to do and they can have him on screen at all times, they will, right? And this is like one of those unfortunate situations that you just need to figure out. It's the same thing like in a lot of TV shows. Characters who were supposed to lose limbs never lost those limbs because it's expensive to constantly CG out. That's literally the reason. A lot of the time people get wounds in the source material and they don't get those wounds in the live action version. It's because it's too expensive, especially with main characters. You saw like a bit of that with Game of Thrones, you saw a bit of that with The Walking Dead. Maybe they can use a puppet when he's really far away and not at the center of the shot. They'll probably do that, yeah. They're not going to use like a fully rendered cinematic or anything, model. There's more though. I wanted to, so this is from the actual stream, right? I didn't watch this because it was 3 a.m. What's this? Joe's, I still don't know how to say his name, official coronation as Mr. Zero by One Piece showrunner Matt Owens. To be trusted with one of the greatest characters ever. I've been waiting for this my entire career. This is the flower, by the way, he twirls around when we first see him.
Geeked Week 2024! Joe Manganiello!
Manganiello? Okay, I'll try to remember that. The fact that he even got, like, the lily, it's great. I wonder how much they're gonna use him now, though. I really do, because if we're never gonna get to Alabasta proper, before Alabasta, we only saw, I think it was the brief scene in, like, Little Garden, right? Where we flashed over to Crocodile, and he was just, like, twirling the flower with Vivi. The demographic of One Piece fans in the audience. Well, this is like 6 layers of detachment, right? These are people who have enough money to go to this event, who have like merch to go to the event, yada yada. Because this is like, if you look at the people, they're definitely just filming all the people who just have the straw hats, right? And then they quickly cut away because some dude put another camera in front. I wish I was there, bro. Same. He looks imposing and intimidating. He is big. I don't know how tall he is, but he looks tall and he's big. The fact he had to still host the event after the reveal, I still wish they actually got him in full costume. I think that'd be so funny. And not even in costume, but just like have him like literally go on like Etsy or on like Fiverr and get like a $10 cosplay, order that, and just have him in very cheap crocodile cosplay. I think it'd be funny. I don't think you even need to make him look good. He just needs to look like Crocodile and maybe just play up the joke. I think it'd be funny. How big these events will get over time. Announcing actors for shows is rarely an event like this. What One Piece is doing is already like completely abnormal with just like they're announcing characters directly referencing what the character will be playing. You know? That is something you don't typically see like at all. So yeah. The way Netflix is approaching this is like very, very unique, and I think, by the way, they are doing it incredibly correctly. They have definitely adapted to the modern day of people actually liking to follow along with this stuff. Why do I say that? Because I am here, and you are here. We are living, breathing examples of this. This is adapting to the modern day where people will be looking at Twitter and actually looking at like, oh, that's interesting. She'll be playing Vivi. I wonder how that's gonna work. Oh, this dude, I've seen him in that thing. That's cool that he's playing Mr. Zero. Like, just a couple of years ago, all this stuff was like like behind closed doors. You know, no one really knew about this stuff. And now they're just announcing everything. They're having the actors do like this Iñaki thing. This is another thing. The fact that they're using Iñaki himself just for marketing, this is perfect. They already have him. People like him. You might as well use them, because this is not a corporate overlord managing this series. It still is. You know? Like, never get lost in the sauce. Remember that this is Netflix, and at literally any moment, they could go up to Matt Owens and say, you are fired. We're done. Bye. That could happen at any moment. But before that happens, we have the illusion that this account is run by people who care. You know? I think Netflix is being very, very smart about this. This is a big, big W in my book. He's 6'5"? What is 6'5"? That's like... Bro, that's a lot. That's like 190, right? I think it's like around 190 because 6 foot is 180 and then 5 inches, I guess that's like 190 something. Bro, he's big. He's a big boy. He's already wearing the pirate rings? I think he is, yeah. People were talking about the rings already. Him and Jeff Ward had a little argument about who was the best villain, and Matt sneaked in a cross-killed moment. It was great. I did see people talking about that, yeah. There it is. We got cross-killed in live action. And I think, like, what Jeff Ward has done with Buggy is also, like, it is insane how well they've done Buggy. Robert Downey Jr. did that cheap Doctor Doom mask cosplay with the Marvel reveal, and that's what I would do. If I was managing this event, I would ask him, please wear literally the cheapest crocodile cosplay we can get. Play it up as a joke, and then actually make it a reveal. It would be great. It's still corporate, but the person doing marketing is very plugged into the fandom culture of One Piece. Exactly, right? The one thing you should never forget, is that you should never get attached to any corporate company. Sony, Microsoft, Netflix, One Piece Netflix, Toei, Shueisha, Wit, all of these things are corporate bodies. None of them care about you. Not a single one cares about you. They have plenty of people who care about you, but it is a corporate structure whose only purpose is to monopolize your attention and your money. That's it. That's their purpose. We can at least enjoy this illusion, you know? While you have that illusion, it's fun. And you're perfectly fine to enjoy that illusion. They're making people like Iñaki the face of One Piece live action, which is amazing because people must love Luffy. Oh, that's what they did with Rick in The Walking Dead, and I think that was another big brain move. The fact that Andrew Lincoln is just the face of The Walking Dead is, I think, one of the biggest value adds for the entire IP, even though the comic book obviously existed, right? I think Andrew Lincoln is the face of the Walking Dead IP. And that's like one of the best examples of that. Getting an actor and making them the actual face of the entire IP can be extremely valuable. Because faces and, well, you see this with YouTube thumbnails, right? Why do you think every single YouTube thumbnail has a face? Because that's what works. When people get like a recognizable face and a face that you know, is like one of the strongest points of marketing ever. It's not even close to. Why is he wearing a Stop Wearing Remasters t-shirt? Because Matt Owens is a bit of a meme lord. Stop live action remakes. He's a bit of a meme lord. I love it. He's 195, 196. I would probably not even go up to like the flower, because I am 160. I'm a very, very small boy. So I am also much shorter than Matt Owens. I'm a very, very, very small boy. Like, if I had to face off against, not Chopper, where's the scene of them just, like, standing against each other? Because I think Luffy in canon is also, like, Luffy in canon is taller than me. Why is there no good shot of them just standing against one another? Well, this is what I would look like, basically. Except I'd be even smaller. Like, he could literally just lift me up on one hand, and it'd be kind of sad. Love the fact they got a massive dude for Crocodile. Can't wait for the Admirals. I think they will cook really, really hard with the Admirals. I'm very excited for that. Let's look at the Robin reveals though, because as you know, there are only two people that I care about. Number one is Chopper. Number two, Robin.
You can't have Crocodile without Miss All Sunday.
More excited to go on this incredible... Hi Grand Fleet, it's Lyra Ababa here, otherwise known as Miss All Sunday. Thanks for welcoming me aboard. Couldn't be more excited to go on...
When do you think they'll have a slip-up and accidentally call her Robin? When do you think is that going to happen? How long do you think it's going to take for someone to accidentally call her Robin?
On this incredible adventure with you. But for now, I'm headed back to Cape Town to continue filming Season 2. Let me tell you, there are some secrets and mysteries you won't want to miss. Knowledge is power, Nakama. Hi Grand Fleet.
True and real. True and real. The casting hasn't missed. Now they just got Zolo to play Ace and the Hawkeye from Cobra Kai to play Sabo. Their chemistry with Iñaki is just immaculate. I think if they actually got him to be like both of them to be the brothers to Luffy, I think it'd be great. Yeah, because I've seen the Cobra Kai like crossover thingies they've done, and they have incredible banter. And even if that is completely fake, right? And they're just on camera and they look cool together, it doesn't matter, right? Because their banter is just really, really good. I don't know if they were actually friends IRL or if they know each other IRL like properly, but they bounce off of each other incredibly well. I wouldn't be against it at all. Also, that's not how you... I said in one of the last videos that I think his name is pronounced Zolo, right? It's not. It's like Solo, I think, or something like that. Like the Cobra Kai guy. And I once again accidentally made people mad because they thought I was talking about Zoro. Because Zolo, you know? I think I'm just gonna actually make it a thing now. I'm just gonna keep calling Zoro Zolo because it makes people really, really mad. Oh, it's pronounced Cholo? Okay. So it's Cholo. I think it'd be funny just to keep calling him Zolo, though, because people would just get, like, so mad about that. It's one of those things that is completely harmless, but people get so mad about it, I have a good time about that. When Lara came out on stage to talk and her voice cracked, oh boy, I can imagine her saying that iconic line. If they get the I want to live line right, and I've said this about multiple moments, because, like, the thing with One Piece is that it has some moments that are... I think there are a lot of people on the internet who say One Piece is mid, and I hate One Piece, right? And I think even to those people, if you showed some of the moments like I Want to Live, or Luffy having his entire crew wiped out, or like Chopper crying with the flag, right? A lot of those moments, they are so freaking raw. I don't think any person with a functional brain cannot be like, man. And I think the I Want to Live moment, if they get that right in live action, that's gonna be like, ooh. That's gonna be a rough one, because it's so basic and so raw. And I've said this in videos before. I think the best emotional moments, the best, like, big hitting phrases are the most basic ones. Like, you don't start crying, you don't start bawling your eyes out, you don't complain. You just say, I am tired. And that is such a loaded line. It has so much weight to it that is infinitely more than anything like, oh, please help me. We've been through so much together, and I can't believe we've gone all this way. Finally, I realized my destiny, but I can't. I'm tired. It's so much. You just literally stand there and say, I am so tired. And that is just like, oof. Lines like that. And it's like, I want to live. Oh. It's so good. It's so good. I don't have, like, literally any problems with the casting so far. I think they've done great with, like, everyone. Now I'm just curious to see what they do with Chopper and all the different forms, and what they do with, like, Dr. Hirolik. Because, like, Drum Island for me is obviously the most important thing in Season 2. The fact that we know we're not going to get Alabasta, I just want Drum Island to be, like, a proper send-off. And Logtown is another one. A bunch of people in the comment section of the previous video talked about, like, the rights One Piece might have, like the live action version might have, because I think like talking about GH, they're probably not going to adapt GH because GH is number one, it's anime filler, right? They're doing a manga adaptation. That's number one. But number two, Netflix only has rights to the manga, which is different from the rights to the anime, because the GH thing, it probably belongs to Toei, not to Shueisha, right? And the Logtown filler is a complicated one, because people have said that Oda always wanted to include it, but it's not in the manga. It is only in the anime. And I don't know who quite, like, owns the rights for that. Can they even do the cooking contest without getting Toei on board? It's sort of what I'm curious about. Because I've got no clue. That's a very, very complicated thing. Because I do hope they do the Sanji cooking contest. I do. Isn't Karoo just a big bird? There's some fourth perspective that can be done. I do think there's a chance they don't cut it, but it's, I think, like, one of those scenes, just like Flopsy, that is just like, Flopsy is, like, the best example, I think, for this. He's, like, the simplest solution to that. Like, they acknowledged its existence, and they just made him a statue, and that's it. It could be like we enter, like, Vivi's palace or something, and there's just a statue of a Karoo, and that's it. Where's Bonchan? That's the million-dollar question. Where is he? The cooking contest, the Usopp and Daddy thing, and Roger's bar. Yeah, those all things are supposedly supposed to be in the manga, But they weren't because Oda wanted to reach the Grand Line by chapter 100. Apparently. I don't know the full lore of that. I don't. But apparently that is the lore. They showed the elephant tuna. They did. But in the manga, doesn't he get it like off screen? Because the fish itself is also in the manga. Just the way he gets it is different. Yeah, like right here. So this guy is in the manga. Right? The difference is just like how they get it. My memory of these things is very, very spotty because I haven't gone through like a lot of the filler again in a long time. Oda even drew Daddy Masterson and put him in the novelized version. And that's what I mean. This is not like a G8 situation where it's purely a Toei thing. I think some of that is also probably owned by Oda himself, and I don't know what the rights for that look like. I guess we'll find out. Because they are definitely they are expanding on Logtown. We already saw that, right? With like the Logtown celebration day, whatever. They're definitely expanding on that. I hope they add the Roger Bar. I love the Roger Bar. And one of the reasons why I love the Roger Bar is because it like literally did what live action did before live action was a thing. If you go back to my video on Logtown, let me see if I can maybe even find it real quick. I was doing what Matt Owens ended up doing in the actual show. Hold on.
I've been around long enough to know that these are clearly Easter eggs for what's...
They weren't. They weren't Easter eggs for anything. But I was looking at these posters and I thought these would be actual characters, right? And this is why I love this thing in the anime. I loved it. Because I saw stuff like this and it's like, it's one of those things that continues building up the world, right? And I thought like this Shapil dude, this Gull something dude, that, I don't know what that's supposed to be, kind of looks like Don Krieg. Whatever that is. And whatever that is, I thought these are actual characters I'll get to see. Isn't Shapil actually in something? Why do I feel like I've heard that name? Bro, he is in something. Shapil is a character. He's the main antagonist of Romance Dawn version 2. Yeah, I thought I'd heard his name before. So yeah, but I really hope they do this. I love the filler here. This was great. And this little scene like right here of flashing back to
Gold Rogers is the only person.
This right here, this is great. I love this. Some of the filler, maybe the concept idea turned as filler. Yeah, and I think like this is another one of those situations where it's kind of a weird situation where what if they do like a cooking contest? Have they just took the idea of a cooking contest and spun it into a new like thing with a live action version, or are they actually doing the manga? Not the manga, the anime. It's like one of those things where someone much smarter than me would have to look at it and like actually like look at what exactly belongs to who in terms of rights. They have the goggles too, yeah. We looked at the goggles, I think it was like the day before yesterday or something. But yeah, in terms of all the big news, I think that is, with One Piece, that's basically it. I do wonder, he's saying we're gonna get more this week, though. That's what makes me real curious. Makes me really, real curious. If we get anything more, I'll obviously be back to talk about it. But in terms of the Geeked events, that's about it. I mean, I suspect we are still expecting, like, we're definitely gonna hear more about, like, how they're doing Chopper and how they're doing, Dr. Heroic and stuff like that. With all the other, like, the deeper they get into production, basically. But I just don't know when, because do we have, like, an event coming up where we can expect something? Because, like, One Piece Day and all that stuff is already passed. When is the next time we can reasonably expect something?